See if this works. Maybe. Alright. Maybe. Alright, try to say something now, Dave.
Let's do it, boys.
Maybe. Alright, try to say something now, Dave.
Council cast. Let's do it, boys.
Alright, I think we're good to go.
That's what you think.
Yeah, we'll see. This is definitely going to be the ghetto version. Alright, well, I think with that, we're going to go ahead and call this council meeting to session. Because as with every week, we'll make arbitrary decisions about topics on science, technology, and random shit. But first, you might like to know that this is CouncilCast episode 215, being recorded on July 12th, 2022. All CouncilCast decisions are final and have no bearing on anything whatsoever. So, welcome to the CouncilCast. Welcome to the GhettoCast, you might say. Not really sure what's going on tonight, so we're missing half the crew, but you know what we're not missing is awesome stories about science, like pacemakers that dissolve when they're no longer needed.
That's pretty cool.
So, yeah, I mean, apparently...
Does that include after the pacemaker has died?
After the what has died?
After the person that has the pacemaker, after they've died, does it dissolve?
Sure. I think so. Yeah, it says fully biocompatible and that none of its components will trigger a toxic or immune response. Doesn't need batteries, and nor does it need lead wires, apparently, to connect to the heart. And it will just be bioresorbable. So it is water soluble over several weeks. So yeah, I guess if you were to... I guess this might be an interesting way to kill somebody.
Somebody that needs a pacemaker, you put this in there instead of a real one?
I mean, I was imagining more like if somebody didn't need a pacemaker and you implanted them with this one. I mean, that might be a little obvious what you're doing, I guess, but... I don't know. But yeah, no, apparently... I mean, I think that's kind of a cool idea. I mean, I don't know how many people don't need pacemakers after a period of time. I mean, is that a common thing to only put in or to only have temporarily?
I don't know.
Possible patients include newborns with heart defects, adults after surgery to repair a heart valve or bypass a blocked coronary artery, or patients that may need a temporary pacemaker before a permanent one can be installed.
Ah, okay. Okay.
So there are a few use cases, but this does not replace a permanent pacemaker.
I mean, I guess... Yeah, I mean, yeah, so it says it, like, dissolves over the course of, like, 60 days. So, I mean, I guess I'd really hope that they have the timing figured out and they don't accidentally get to you one day late. Because that would probably not be so good. Although even after 20 days, it doesn't look like it's really usable anymore, so... I guess this would really... I mean, it's kind of like temporary caps, I guess, when you go to the... temporary crowns when you go to the dentist and they put, like, the fake ones on for, like, a week while they make your real ones. That's kind of like this is, so... I guess it's one less thing for a doctor to forget to remove from your body, which is a good positive. Thumbs up for that.
Yeah, I hate it when doctors forget to take out their scalpels.
It can be a problem, so... You know, and I don't really need two pacemakers, I guess, so... They might interfere with each other. But something that it won't interfere with is the LightSail 2 spacecraft, because it's actually just going to burn up on re-entry instead of dissolve inside of your body. But
Is this the solar sail?
it is, yes.
Wait, that thing actually went. I thought they didn't actually
It could
launch it.
dissolve you entirely if it hits you on the way down.
That sounds like a great way to take care of a lot of my problems.
To get hit by a falling light sail? Solar
Yes.
sail? Okay. But yeah, apparently for the past 3 years, Light Sail 2, which was used to prove that solar sails can indeed be used to fly a spacecraft, apparently it's just been hanging out in space way past its expected life expectancy. And it's now apparently getting to the point where it's gonna just kind of fall into the earth and burn up.
Did it accomplish its mission?
Maybe? Not really sure. I mean, I guess it's been in space for 3 years, so that's better than nothing.
Yeah, but lots of things can be in space. In fact, most things, if not all things, are just be in space. Did it do any of the things it set out to do?
After its launch in June 2019, it gained 2 miles of altitude, therefore making its experiment a success.
Oh yeah, there you go.
I don't know if, and then it's just been chilling out there, and it's been losing altitude in the last couple of months at an increasing rate.
So I guess why, if this, I mean, is it because the solar sail got damaged, or I guess why wouldn't this thing, based on that, just continue increasing its altitude?
I don't know.
Oh, here it says the sun actually worked against it. So the sun, apparently, when it is more active, it heats the Earth's upper atmosphere, causing it to expand into higher altitudes. And apparently, at the start of the mission, the sun was going through some downtime, and so
Interesting.
It basically caused the atmosphere to be denser at higher altitudes, which caused the light sail to drag downwards now that it's become more active. So there you go. Drag is a killer. But yeah, apparently it said a third factor leading to its demise was a communications glitch. So apparently they weren't able to communicate with it anymore. So I guess you can say you might not want to sail away with light sail, but thumbs up for it accomplishing its mission, I guess. I'd totally forgotten that this thing even existed.
Isn't the whole point of the light sail to like continuously accelerate based on like photons hitting the one side of the sail?
Yeah, that's the idea. Well, that's why I asked why is this thing crashing now?
Yeah. Like, but I've always wondered, like, if you get going so quickly, and then how do you stop?
Well, that's easy. You just run into whatever you're going towards.
Oh, okay.
I mean, nobody said you had to slow down gracefully.
It's true. This is very true.
But, you know, something that probably is a little less graceful is a Mars spacecraft that is
We like Mars.
running on Windows 98 for 19 years, and it is finally getting an upgrade. Maybe they'll move it to Windows 11. Who knows?
I'm guessing it's because IE 11 is going end of life, and they need to update Internet Explorer on it.
That must be it.
Yeah, that's probably why. Is it one of the 12 trillion devices that Java runs on?
Did they update their number again?
They updated the number, but I don't know what it is.
Yes, it's probably what half the systems are running on is Java. Actually, it's probably Shockwave that it's being run on.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Going way back there.
Yeah,
Fire up
apparently,
shockwave.com and play me some Acnos Energizer.
yeah, the spacecraft is apparently the Marsis spacecraft, which is the Mars Advanced Radar for Subsurface and Ionospheric Sounding, which
Oh.
was launched in 2000. No, sorry, yeah, 2003. And so, yeah, apparently the software was designed over 20 years ago and used a proprietary environment based on Windows 98. And, they actually, Microsoft probably said if you want us to continue supporting Windows 98, you're going to have to pay a lot more money.
It's a hell of a piece of software to be running.
I'm wondering, it doesn't, I'm trying to figure out what they said they were going to update it to. They said it's designed by some people out of Italy.
Linux. Could be a Linux distro.
Dude, do you think like the non-visual representation of Clippy is just like tapping on the lens?
Yes. Yes, it is.
It's probably like,
It,
hey,
it looks like you're trying to image Mars. Would you like help with that? No, Clippy, get the fuck out of here.
I always change Clippy to either the dog or Merlin because
mm,
I thought they were cooler.
and most people probably didn't know how to do that.
Yeah. Clippy liked to hang out next to my Bonzi buddy.
Oh my god, did you actually have Bonzi Buddy installed?
I don't know. I just remember when it was a craze and there were like literal news channels just like, it's Bonzi Buddy, the newest thing. Stay tuned for more. Where we talk about this new thing called the intranet.
Well, this time I'm surprised that they even were able to get that far with the internet. So, this was launched almost in the dark ages of dial-up. So I'm surprised
Yeah.
this thing even knows how to talk to us. But I guess I'm gonna give them a thumbs down for thinking that they thought Windows 98 was gonna last forever. And actually, I'm also gonna give it a thumbs up for Windows 98 lasting 20 years on this thing, and it not blue screening of death.
Was CE based on XP?
I don't know.
Based on anything?
It was CE was the embedded, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was embedded Windows. That you'd find it on like ATMs and shit.
Which is still probably where most ATMs are running.
I thought CE was 98. I don't think CE was NT based.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm not.
Extended support for CE ends in 2023.
Yeah, it is not. CE is not NT based, so it is not XP.
Interesting. Okay.
It uses a hybrid kernel.
Apparently, Zune was its OS was based on CE. So there you go. Maybe that's what they'll upgrade to here. Maybe they'll just upgrade.
Zune's OS was CE.
Yeah, apparently,
Wow.
as was Windows Phone Mobile, which really is no surprise there. But
Matt had a Windows Phone Mobile.
I had both a Zune and a Windows Phone Mobile, like the older one, and the same Windows Phone you did.
yeah, I had one too, and then I had a Windows Phone as well.
Well, Matt had one that had an actual start menu. I remember that. No, that was Mark.
I also had one marked.
You had one of those
the same
too?
phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good old days of early cell phones.
Oh, yeah.
Really shitty smartphones.
Yeah, something like that. Well, speaking of your smartphone,
I mean, it was fucking crazy though.
it was nuts what you could do.
Opening up Excel on my goddamn cell phone. That shit was dope. I remember sitting in the parking lot of a grocery store while my mom went inside, and I was like, "What the fuck? This thing is nuts." And now you'd look at that and be like, "Oh, this thing's dumb."
Yeah.
It was pretty forward thinking at the time. Just like digital driver's licenses are, as you may be able to pull that up on your cell phone in the near future. But apparently, it may not be 100% secure, as apparently people in New South Wales and Australia found out, where they apparently claimed their digital driver's license was tough to forge, and turns out it was actually easy to forge. Big surprise there.
Yeah, this is when these projects go to the lowest bidder.
So the best part is they talked about it. So it was safeguarded. There was some security, but apparently the security was a 4-digit PIN that encrypted the data, and it didn't stop you from testing it, and so you could just brute force it in like no time. So there you go. I guess if you live in New South Wales and you have a digital driver's license, you could probably make you whoever you wanted.
Assuming a very long 40 seconds per attempt, it would take 112 hours to brute force.
Yeah, worst case.
Yeah.
That's not
So,
that
I mean,
bad, realistically.
No, I mean, depending on how long like if you could just continuously type in the PIN with no like delay, like if it just immediately tells you nope, you could easily get that down to like 10 seconds an attempt manually.
Yeah. Yeah, apparently there was a ton of
Which
ton
would
of
give you
design
28
flaws.
days.
Oh my gosh.
So you could literally do that in your spare time in like a week.
Yeah, this is pretty ridiculous. I mean, they apparently had a ton of issues with this, so yeah, I think that it's stuff like this where I think digital driver's license would be a really interesting idea. Because I mean, we're slowly getting to the point where you basically just need your phone to leave the house, and you can do anything you need to from it. And I think driver's licenses are one of those kind of last things. But things like this, where it's like, hey, turns out it's not secure. I mean, this is just going to cause everybody to not do it now.
I mean, it kind of reminds me of the XKCD voting comic, where if you ask software engineers about computerized voting, the response is, it's terrifying. There are lots of very smart people doing fascinating work on cryptography voting protocols. We should be funding and encouraging them and doing all of our elections with paper ballots until everyone currently working in that field has retired. Or we could use blockchain.
Oh my
block-
god.
There you go. Just put it on the blockchain. Put it in the
Blockchain will
blockchain
solve
and
everything.
put it in the cloud. That'll fix it all. Not a problem. I'm gonna give this a thumbs down for these guys for not really doing a good job with this. But the only other thing I kind of would comment on is, I don't know if you guys use like the digital insurance papers or anything like that too. But like, if somebody was to pull you over, are you really gonna? Do you have to hand your phone over to these people? You know,
I have used that before in the insurance app. I did not hand my phone over.
okay. So
I don't know if there's a standard protocol, but I'm sure if the cop wanted to, they would probably grab your phone, and if they wanted to, they would start looking through it, because at that point, it's basically said, here's my phone. Please find something to arrest me for.
Well, and that's exactly kind of my only other comment about this is like if you have to hand your phone over now, it looks like there's some sort of QR code with this, so maybe in Australia these guys can like scan that and get all the information they need, but that would definitely be my bigger concern is I don't want to have to turn over my phone just to show you my ID or something like that.
Nope. Will not turn my phone over.
But, something that you don't need to turn your phone over for is getting Portal to play on your Nintendo 64. How many people are still playing Nintendo 64?
Harvest Moon, baby!
Mario 64.
There you go. But yeah, apparently some very clever people have apparently ported it to the N64, which apparently Portal came out 11 years after the N64 debuted.
I don't believe that.
And apparently 5 years after the GameCube came out. So there you go. But yeah, honestly, I've watched some of these videos. It looks... I mean, obviously it looks like N64 graphics, but it's honestly very surprising how decent it is. I'm impressed. I give these guys a thumbs up.
That is pretty cool. There've been a lot of like demakes recently.
I mean, yeah. And this is better than watching Doom played on yet another thing that Doom can run on. So I'll give them that.
I think it's cool. There's been a lot of cool stuff done with retro gaming. Just like people, hobbyists creating their own stuff. Like somebody's totally rewritten, basically rewritten the entire Mario 64 game code. Like he's got access to the source code somehow, and he's basically rewritten the entire thing to make it more, make it run better. And he's gotten like 40 to 60% better FPS out of it, so the game actually can run at 30 frames, and a lot of times up to 60 on stock hardware. It's pretty cool, the stuff he's done.
That's pretty impressive. Yeah, no, that's pretty cool. Like, thumbs up for those guys. Something though that you don't necessarily need a N64 though is playing virtual reality and suffocating yourself.
What? Oh, is this the stupid teenager TikTok craze?
No, this is apparently some researchers have created a mask that you can wear in combination with your virtual reality headset to simulate suffocation.
Oh.
So, if you
Is this a sex thing?
It might be. They talk about simulating a horrifying experience such as suffocating in a fire, but I think that it could also be a gratifying experience of being.
Oh, that would be
I'm not sure.
That would be interesting if you're playing like some game where there's like smoke in the ambient environment, and it actually makes it harder for you to breathe by like limiting your ability to
actually breathe.
Yeah, and then some fucking jackass hacks it and actually kills you.
No, this is totally a sex thing.
I mean, same problem.
Yeah, so I mean, this I'm not exactly sure why anybody would want to strap this on. I mean, to be fair, I think the chance of it actually suffocating you is pretty slim. But they had, apparently there was another group that was used ultrasonic transducers to recreate the sensation of touch in and around the wearer's mouth, which definitely now sounds like a sex thing.
This is you're digging the hole, man. It's only getting deeper.
They make a good point in the article. The
what do they say?
Simulators,
This isn't a sex thing.
Flight simulators. The added G-forces of high-speed maneuver make it harder to breathe.
Sure. Yeah, so I mean, I just assumed that, like, in certain flight simulator scenarios, like the military, they could already simulate this type of thing. but maybe not.
I mean, I don't know. I
I don't know anything about milsims, like the actual like physical like simulators like you'll train in.
I mean,
mean-
I'm talking like hobbyists or at home. You could buy
Oh,
this.
I mean, I've
And
been in
then-
the ones at the mall, and they definitely don't do that. Let me put it.
That's where they train. That's where I'm told. That's if Top Gun loses internet for the day, that's where they go.
To go down to the mall.
Excuse me, Naval Weapons something school, better known as Top Gun.
So yeah, no, I
The
mean,
United States Navy Strike Fighter Tactics Instructor Program.
What?
I mean, I guess maybe I
No?
don't think the sense of G-force is really going to be important for flight simulations, but maybe like if you had to do a high altitude
Yeah,
injection.
I'm often having a tough time breathing because of the maneuvers I'm pulling in my Cessna.
But you know, if I'm at 10,000 feet or 20,000 feet and I want to eject from my plane now, that would be a good simulation.
Yeah, my Cessna also has an ejection seat. I would like to like to simulate.
You can also fly at 20,000 feet.
I'll
with
open
your
the door
Cessna.
and jump. People have done
How
that
many Gs
before
could
from
assess
used
the
planes
pull?
before, right? If they have parachutes, like if you have a pilot pack, you can hop out.
In what?
Like if you've got a Cessna that you're like, oh fuck, this thing is toast and I can't land it, and you just throw open the door and hop out if you got to shoot.
I mean, why not, right?
Sure.
Nothing like just crashing Cessnas all day.
This thing's going down.
I don't
Didn't
know.
some guy got in trouble for that recently, didn't he? But like the FAA was pissed
Yeah.
off because he purposefully crashed.
Yeah,
That's-
Yeah, he did it for
like Instagram.
a social
or
media
something like
stunt. He crashed
Yeah.
into a mountain.
Yeah, and the FAA was like, you can't just go crashing planes on purpose in this country."
that. Yeah, I did see that. I don't. Yeah. I don't know how to land this thing. I never learned how to land. I just crashed
Because
all my
while they
airplanes.
may not control whether or not you're specifically allowed to crash a plane on your property or someone else's property that they've given you permission to, they do control the airspace above it.
So then you just fly the plane into your own airspace, and then
It's
you crash
lower
it.
than you think. You
At,
don't
like,
own much higher
200
than your
feet
house
or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty
Yeah.
low.
I know.
I don't remember, and I don't know if that one is even different per state or if the federal government made it so the FAA has broad mandate in most cases. Obviously, like the FAA doesn't control the center of like a skyscraper in Manhattan, right? But like, so the rules have to apply or be relevant for the area.
Tom Scott did a video recently, kind of about that.
Did he? See, he does pretty good stuff.
He was flying a drone, and it was like, what was it?
In general, you can only fly your drone in uncontrolled airspace below 400 feet AGL. Interesting.
The title is "Flying Here is Surprisingly Legal." He like flew it around the Statue of Liberty.
What did he fly?
A drone, I think.
Oh, there's all kinds of people that fly drones around that shit, isn't there?
Oh no, he's in a plane. I thought it was
Like an ultralight, probably.
no.
An aircraft. So, where's this from? Pilotteacher.com. How much do I take this with a grain of salt? Oh, there's a photo of somebody in the. Oh my god, why can't I think of the name of it? The place in the UK that they all go take photos of like planes ripping through the valley. Help me. You know what it's called. You've watched it. You've seen videos of it.
Sorry.
UK.
The
Lock loop. This site claims, and this is with precisely zero checking whatsoever, but this site claims that an aircraft can legally fly as low as 500 feet above the ground
And if in sparsely populated areas or over water, there is no minimum height limit but must remain at least 500 feet from any vessel, structure, or person. Aircraft can also fly lower than 500 feet when landing and taking off. Interesting. So, like, in places where, out in Alaska, where, like, everybody and their grandmother has a plane with, like, those big fat wheels on it that they can land on the, like, tundra with and shit. I assume that they can, since it's so sparsely populated, they can just be dicking around at, like, 75 feet if they want to, and it not be an issue.
Yeah, it says here, another article I found, somewhere, it depends on where you are and what your land is, but
And that makes sense.
generally it's kind of accepted that you own up to 500 to 1,000 feet above your land.
Wow, that's more than I thought. Yeah, so, like, this person is breaking down, like, minimum safe altitudes of the Federal Aviation Regulations, and, like, bullet point number 1 is so the title is, in a nutshell, what this rule stipulates is that except for landing and taking off, a pilot, then a bunch of bullets, and bullet number 1 is must not fly anywhere upon which they cannot safely land in an emergency without causing damage to people or property. So vague, purposefully so, right? If overflying congested areas, the pilot must maintain 1,000 feet above the highest obstacle within a 2,000 foot radius. So that would be like if you're flying in Des Moines.
Yep.
Like, excluding the controlled airspace around, like, the airports and stuff, you must maintain 1,000 feet above the highest obstacle within a 2,000 foot.
Like you can't buzz a bridge.
Yeah, you can't buzz the principal tower, right? 801 Grand. If overflying a non-congested area, the pilot must maintain 500 feet above the ground. If overflying sparsely populated areas, the pilot must maintain at least 500 feet to any person, vessel, vehicle, or structure, and there is no altitude restriction. So that would mean, like, out in the middle of, like, the country, like, even out in the middle of, like, rural Iowa, if you've got an ultralight, which would still be, like, classified and, like, subject to, like, the regulations, it's the only difference on an ultralight is that, like, all you need is a fucking driver's license to fly the damn thing, basically. But in rural Iowa, you'd just be subject to, like, the whole don't be within 500 feet of anything, right?
Yeah.
Like, I definitely remember as a kid, ultralights flying over, like, there was a guy in the area that had an ultralight, and I guarantee you he was within 500 feet of either the house or the outbuilding or me on the ground, but, like, nobody cares. It's rural Iowa. How would they know?
Pretty much.
Unless I cared enough to complain, right?
So, this Tom Scott video, if you fly down the Hudson,
Mm-hmm.
they're flying 1,100 feet above the water, and they're just driving down the Hudson. They have to announce every once in a while, but, like, they're just flying over the George Washington Bridge, and they're at 1,100 feet, and nobody cares.
What are they in?
It looks kind of.
They're like they are flying. This isn't a drone. They're in a plane.
Yeah, they are in an actual plane.
I mean, as long as you're following the rules and, like, I don't know, Sullivan would know better than I would, but, like, in these spaces, especially, like, New York City, where it's, like, highly congested and stuff, like, what type of, I'm assuming you have to file some sort of flight plan.
Nope.
Yeah,
No flight plan.
You don't have to file a flight plan?
Nope.
You just go up and say, I'm flying VFR?
Yeah.
That's it? You just call the controller that you're going to do VFR, and that's your plan?
Yeah. They're below some of the.
I'm surprised, like, I am floored that there doesn't have to be any flight plan, but, like, I mean, I guess, like, if
the
I,
flight
out
plan
in
might just be
Iowa, had a
take
grass
off
runway,
and fly around and land at the same airport, though. Might be simple.
or
as that.
maybe it's, like, written on a crayon napkin, right? Like, or written on a napkin with a crayon, but, like, I mean, it was not uncommon, like, back in, like, the, I don't know, like 50s, 60s, 70s for, like, people to have grass runways
Oh yeah.
and have an ultralight that they fly off of it, or like a Cub, like a Piper Cub or something. So, I don't know. I'll have to ask Sullivan what the deal with flight plans are because either his dad flies or he knows somebody that flies. I don't remember exactly.
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm not sure. I'm not sure when you need to and when you don't.
You have to.
They're below the highest skyscrapers.
You have to file a flight plan for VFR. Do you have to file a flight plan? Again, this is just a Google result. No, with one exception. Unlike IFR flight plans, VFR flight plans are not usually required, but they are highly recommended. Remember, VFR flight plans help emergency workers find you if you crash. So if your plan is just to go up and go where your fucking wild hair takes you, there's not much of a flight plan you can file around that, right?
Oh.
Like, if you just want to go out and enjoy, like... I mean, okay, yeah, so think of, like, glider pilots. What type of flight plan would they file? They don't know where they're going to go exactly, for sure. Like, they're going to go...
I think fighter pilots are probably...
I don't know, glider.
Oh, glider pilots. Sorry, I thought you said fighter
Pilots. Glider pilots. So, like, they're going to be following whatever currents they can find, right? And, like, who the fuck knows where that is?
I mean, I hope they have some idea because I'm assuming
Well,
somebody's
yeah,
come
it's
and
going to
pick
be
them
like...
up.
Yeah, but they don't map out, like, I'm going to take this exact route. Like, they know that they're going to go near the mountain range or whatever, or, like, the volcano and try to catch some updraft.
Yeah,
But other
true.
than that, they can't, like, file a flight plan for, like, I'm going to hit these waypoints.
Yeah, it looks like if you are flying VFR, you do not need to fill out a flight plan.
Again, I don't know anything about this shit in the true spirit of Council Cast.
Oh, that,
Right. Controllers don't know anything about your VFR plan. VFR flight plans are for search and rescue purposes only. Even if you call ATC and request flight following, they only enter the destination into their system, not your route. I assume that's because
Yeah.
your route could be follow that river and then that interstate. Right?
Yeah,
like if you're
very
doing
true.
that VFR, right? Like the key point is that VFR flight plans are recorded and managed by FSS, which I don't know what that is, not ATC. So does FSS accept whatever they're given? I couldn't find any direct answer to that question, but the FAA's procedures for receiving and handling VFR flight plans, see Chapter 6, don't include any steps to quote-unquote validate the plan, whatever that would mean anyway. Although there's not a lot of detailed, tedious information there, so I may have missed something. I think that's the point, is like if you're VFR, like you're doing a lot of landmark flying.
Mm-hmm.
Like river, interstate, big tree that got blown apart by lightning, like whatever your landmarks are, right? So what the hell would you file?
Yeah, I mean, I to your point, I mean, I think I think you could still do flight following, but you're just really going to record what's your destination.
You're still responsible for all
Yeah.
the like airspace incursion stuff.
Yep. Oh
Like,
yeah, definitely.
You're still like that doesn't negate you as the pilot needing to know what restricted airspace is that day or even that hour, right?
Yep. Yeah. There you go. Well, I think with that, we're going to go ahead and move on to our billionaire pitches for the week. So I'm gonna go first. My pitch. I've been thinking about this. We haven't done a lot of. We haven't done any air travel with our daughter yet, and so I'm trying to think about everything that we need to bring. And one of them is a car seat, and so I think Miss Abigail Johnson, whoever you are, you're the 81st most richest person.
I forgot you were doing a random billionaire.
I want you to create a packable car seat, maybe a packable or / inflatable car seat.
Bro, I got you.
All right.
Hold on, finish. Continue.
That's it. That's my entire.
That's
pitch.
it? That was your thing?
Yes.
So it's not inflatable, but what you want, and probably have already seen, is a Duna. They're probably too small for, like, how big is Eleanor? I don't know how big Dunas go.
I mean, I don't know what sizing do they use.
I don't fucking know. Silas and Kayla had a Duna. It was the thing that could be a stroller, but it converted
Oh.
into a car seat really, really quickly. Like it collapses into itself, and you can throw it in the car. So
She's definitely
they brought
better
it.
than this.
Yeah, they brought it to the Dominican Republic, and like it went on the plane and like all that
Oh,
stuff.
yeah,
it was
I
like
see.
really nice for a baby that small.
Yeah,
Well,
definitely.
all right, back to the drawing board. It's just a bunch of floaties duct taped together.
That's okay with me. Go for it.
Whatever works.
I've got a pitch.
Oh, dope.
This is actually for the first 100 billionaires.
For
Every
all
one of them.
the top 100?
Yes, for all the first 100.
Oh, are they? Oh, okay, I'm interested to hear. Although I have a guess.
I would like all of them to give me $10,000.
Oh, that's not what I thought.
Uh,
That sounds nice though. I'll take $9,999.
wait, did you say $100 or $1,000?
I said
10,000.
10,000.
$10,000.
I'm willing to accept $1 less from each of
God
you.
damn you!
It's okay. You can go lower.
Hmm.
I'm
I would be
always
willing
willing
to-
to accept one fewer dollar than Dave is, with an exclusion on it going so low that I am now required to pay each of the 100 of you. There. I think I've covered it.
You son of a
You
bitch.
son of a bitch.
All right, so I got $10,000 and Matt willing to accept $1 less than anything Dave wants.
Makes sense.
That only seems.
I like to express the value that I'm willing to take as a function so that it can be so that I don't have to keep coming back to it.
Don't need to update it every week. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
All right. I think with that, we're going to go ahead and call this council meeting adjourned. We thank you for listening, as we do record this podcast live Tuesday nights on YouTube. Sometimes with the Ghetto Cast and sometimes not. You'll have to try it out and take your pick.
I take issue with calling it the ghetto, okay?
All right. The whatever you want to call it. What is this? The Not Real Cast.
I don't know.
But if you did like it and you wanted to check out all of our past episodes, you can maybe go to councilcast.org or search iTunes or your favorite podcatcher. And if you have a topic you would like us to make a decision on, you can email us at idon'tcare@councilcast.org or connect with us on Twitter at RealCouncilCast, or come join us on our subreddit at /councilcast.
We have a
Thanks for
subreddit.
listening, and goodbye.